Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf and to another episode of Bag It or Bin It, where today we're gonna be comparing 3 9 to 10 speed control drivers, which are probably all gonna fight for a little bit of a spot in my bag eventually when I start to think about that before the season comes around. But we're still a couple months out from that because I am in the throes of Project 100 in training. But today we're gonna be taking a look at specifically, learn how to catch a disc, Anthony. The Fusion Getaway right here, 9.5, negative 0.53. Mason Ford used to throw the Getaway all over the place before he moved over to Mint. The Blade from Gateway, 9.503, Gateway, not Getaway, don't get them confused. And then the Discraft Anax, 10.603. Interesting slot. I've already compared the Anax with a Thunderbird and a Tesla. I feel like this is a more apt comparison, but the Getaway itself feels like pretty neutral to maybe slightly overstable. The parting line isn't super high, but it's also not directly in the middle. Fusion plastic feels really good. I've honestly never thrown anything in the Fusion plastic from Dynamic Discs, even though I've thrown a lot of Dynamic Discs plastic. The Hyper Diamond Blade here, I've already reviewed in my Gateway New Kid in the Bag series. Learn how to hold on to it. And it was a little bit flippier, probably closer to that 9.5, negative 1, 9.5, negative 0.53, which is why I threw it in here, because I want to see how they all compare. And the Anax, I think, is just pretty straight with a little finish. I am interested to see if this goes slightly farther since it is a 10-speed, but we're out here at Tradewinds Park Disc Golf Course in Deerfield Beach, Florida, and we're gonna play 5 holes with just these 3 discs. If I can't beat par with any of them, these are going to the patron who requested the Bag It or Bin It for the Fusion Getaway. Shout out to Rob for the suggestion, but we're just gonna pick the best tee pads and basket positions for these discs because there's a bunch of different tee pads and basket positions on all of these holes here. Pretty solid course, honestly. This is a great course to review things because it's pretty wide open, but it also has its obstacles. So hopefully we can shoot under par with everybody. Getting a little sore and my form is obviously still in process, so don't judge everything too harshly. We should still be able to, over these 5 holes, get a great idea for these discs though. Don't know who that is, but shout out to them in the Tundra. I would love a Tundra. Subscribe and watch the videos so that I can make enough money to get a Tundra. Hole 1 right here is straight ahead of us. We're gonna go to the green basket in the middle cluster there, which is 280 feet away. Just for some context and reference, right now, as I'm going through a form change, I'd say my fairways are probably going 320 to 340 consistently. If I get a good hold of one, 360, 370, and my drivers are probably topping out around 380. I can hit 400, but I'm not consistent in that like I used to be before going through this form change, but it'll be for the better because I'll be at 450 hopefully in a couple months. To a year to 2 years, I don't know. It feels like it's gonna take forever. But I also want to throw these on a variety of different holes, and I feel very confident throwing these around the 290 mark. So I want to get a good idea at how these fly between a bunch of different distances. Anything up inside the circle, I'm happy with. Flip them, odd man out goes first. Oh, Getaway, going first. I will say this Fusion plastic feels very good. I think it's my favorite feeling plastic out of all of these. And this is kind of swirly too. It's like a swirly Fusion. A little high, way high. Get through, sneak through. I was a little bit high. I meant to put that a little bit lower. The nose would have stayed down, but it just seemed to push straight and have a little finish, which is what I'd expect from that, but we're gonna go Blade next. See, that's where that has a little more turn, which the Getaway might have, but I just threw that so low. And Anax next. I'm gonna try to throw this the same as that Getaway, because I feel like this is a more apt comparison because man, that Gateway Blade really was more understable than I anticipated it to be when I was throwing it. Pretty similar. Oh, that definitely seems more stable. That guy's going fast on that bike. That kind of knocked down. It definitely seemed to be faster, but also more stable. I'm gonna throw it slightly faster. I might have thrown it a little bit harder, but it seemed to be flying through the air faster, which should make sense if it was a 10-speed and not a 9-speed. And it seemed to want to get a little more stable, so Getaway might be a really solid slot. Maybe that's something I'm looking for because I like 7 speeds for that slot, but 9.5 negative 0.53 compared to 9.5 negative 1.2 are a little interesting. Maybe I should have brought one of those to compare as well, but I think this will be a good comparison. And I really do feel like that Anax throw and that Getaway throw were pretty similar. A lot of it just came down to the luck, I guess. All right, the Blade does have a look. Oh, too much right. Decent height, decent height. All right, Getaway's got a putt. Maybe not the best hole to throw through first since we have such a low ceiling, about 250 feet from the pad, but from the Anax, I don't think I have any sort of look. That stinks. Can maybe sneak something through here, but palm fronds are just so unforgiving. Oh, yes! Let's go! Let's go, that was awesome! Oh my gosh, dude. Good birdie. There are always like times that I'm like, I don't need to film another video today. I'm like, I'm a little tired. Those are always when like the magic happens. That was when in my wing it disc, I made like a 70-foot putt, actually 69, nice. This stuff, that's wild, let's go. All right, 2 birdies and a par. Also, for all the people who are new to the channel, the scores don't come into account when we're talking about how the discs compare to one another. It's just a fun way to add some giveaways to the channel. But I don't think about that when it comes to, I don't even remember the score half the time. I just need to make sure I'm under par, honestly. All right, hole number 2 here. We're going to the green basket straight ahead of us, 296 feet. And I wanna see how these all work on hyzer. These are gonna be a pretty similar shot for all these guys. It's gonna be nice. Getaway still has the box, and then Anax, and then blade. I think if we throw just over this tree, or even a little more pushing inside of that tree, they should be pretty easy 300 footers. Just gotta make sure that I'm not hurting myself, which I don't think I will. Everything feels good, and that's what's important. So making sure I don't overcommit for the sake of the video, and when I have a disc golf career on the line. Well, I guess I don't have one yet, but I would have one. Getaway. Push far enough. Short. A little short, a little bit high, a little nose up, not really committed through the shot. That's where the Anax, we'll see if it's a little different, because if I throw the same shot, we'll see if it goes a little farther. Similar shot, both are bad and short. Pretty similar spot, but I mean, not too bad. They're right there. I think the blade on that same line is gonna be even better because it should flip up more, but I think I had to try to throw the Anax the same. They're a little nose up. I would really prefer to throw a little more penetrating, a little more forward instead of up, but try to throw the same shot here. Yeah, look at that flip up difference. So short though, wow, okay. I think main thing that shows is just kind of what you'd expect. Well, not quite. Blade is more understable, I think, than both of those other discs because they flipped up more. They all were thrown pretty nose up, pretty low power. I could have thrown them all better and harder, but should have just made sure that the nose was a little more down, but they should all be putts, honestly, so none of them are bad, but the blade flipped up, so I had a much more dumpy finish because it just kind of stalled and then dumped, whereas the other ones just kept kind of pushing a little bit more. The Anax did definitely seem faster than the 9-speeds though. I'm interested to see how these will handle forehand because I imagine the blade is going to be very different than the others. All right, these are all bad. They're all so bad. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, Getaway lost the box. Blade, nice birdie. Practice your putting, and then don't get in your head about your putting. All right, hole number 3 here is 319 feet up along that side there. Gonna be pretty flat forehand that just drives straight, I think. Ooh, it's a little far for 9 and 10 speed for me, 320. I feel confident getting this distance with a distance driver, and I know I can get it with a fairway, but it's gotta be a good shot. So we're gonna focus on having really good shots here. Anax, then blade, then Getaway. Sit down. Way to throw it way, oh, that's kind of down there though. It's down there, but that is, sheesh. Here's the blade. I think honestly this is gonna be way flippier than the other two, so I just gotta make sure I get it flat. I threw that a little nose up. It's all about the hit point. Get out of it, dude. I did throw that to the left. That with the Anax is perfect. That with the blade just holds it. That with the Getaway might be perfect as well. Let's try. Stay on turn, no, stop it, ah! That was a weird noise, sorry. So I'm not sure if so far I think the Getaway is more of a 9503. This is where I think it really would have been nice to have brought out a Thunderbird, but I thought this would be more Anax-like than Thunderbird-like. Turns out, I'm wrong. Oh, this isn't a putt either, this has to be a throw-in as well. From the Getaway. Stand up, that's fine. But that seems to be what like Champ Thunderbirds do for me, so I'd imagine it's pretty similar to that. This blade is way better than I thought, actually. The feeling on that Getaway is better than a Thunderbird, but seems to have a similar flight. Got a big old blade putt. Low, terrible. I'm glad this is dry right now. because I launched like 3 discs in here. Here's the Rive. Okay, here's the Nuke. I'm just gonna clean these ones up and then go find that. Then we got 2 more holes after this. Still the birdie opportunity with that Anax. Really take a commanding lead. I think that extra little bit of speed did definitely help it to get a little farther. Oh, here it is, okay. That deserves a par. That's a bad shot. Everything's under par, let's keep it that way. We're gonna test some turnovers now. All right, we're gonna have to put a little disclaimer on this hole because I have been very bad at throwing turnovers, AKA and hyzer shots, as I've been doing my form change. So we could go forehand here, but it's about 340 feet. And I think if we throw the anhyzer just left enough on just the right angle, the beautiful thing about overstable discs is they're going to fight against themselves when they're thrown an anhyzer and just fly back to flat, but be gliding there the whole time. So I think that's probably the play. We're gonna have to wait for these people to move and then just really see if we can rip on these overstable discs on just enough anhyzer that just continues to kind of glide, but more so, it more will go straight instead of really gliding far to the right because it's so overstable. It's gonna fight against that until it gets to flat and maybe come back a little bit towards the basket. But 350 feet, 345 is where we're at. A little far for how I'd like. I could get these there on forehand, but as you just saw, my forehand is not good, and that's the thing that's mainly really affected by me feeling sore here is if I have to really get into that leg, and that hurts a little bit more on the forehand than the backhand. So we're gonna actually be safe to my body. Lame. All right, same order, Anax, Blade, Getaway. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a look. It's actually kind of gonna be a look. That is, remember I said throw and hyzer shots. That's a flat shot. That's so flippy, what the? That was lower, but that was more of the shot shape. There it is, that's the shot shape. Get over, get through. That was the shot shape I wanted. That was looking really pretty. I'm gonna go play those out super, super fast and then run back and then play it again. All right, well, that really didn't tell us a lot of anything. Maybe a little bit. I think definitely the Anax is the most stable, then the Getaway, then the Blade, because that Blade just got straight over. Almost wanted to roll. The Getaway held the turn for a while though. I just needed to throw it a little bit lefter, and that would have been a lot better. I'm gonna try to throw these more similarly again. I got a par with all of them because I rushed some of the putts, but they're all like 50 feet anyways. Same order, same order. Oh wow, that is so stable. I thought I got over on that a bit, but a very little bit. Oh, good kick. I think either of these ones would have turned a little bit more out of that. It's very stable, that's workable. If you can actually throw any Blade here. Wow, that's so understable. What the heck? All right, I think I'm pretty right about how these are flying. Try the Getaway. I felt like I throw those relatively similarly. Blade a little more turn, but not a lot. Not a lot of turn, much more similar to the Anax line. Wow, that's far. That thing got down there. Because I felt like they were all very similar releases. This one definitely slightly more anhyzer, but I mean, it turns so much more that it's so much shorter than the other ones, but it's probably more of like a 9.5 -1.2 than a 9.5 if we're being honest. Could just be this run though. Get it. Oh! The Rive that I threw after everything went almost the same distance as the Getaway, and it had more turn out of the box, or out of the hand, not the box, which I think just means that the Getaway is more understable, and I also am having a very hard time getting these faster drivers up to speed, both being sore, but also mostly changing my form and having it have to readjust, which is such a slow, stupid process. Hi. And then we already talked about the silliness that is the Blade. Good mold, I think much more beginner Anax. On to the last hole, which is gonna be a hyzer over the water. Hopefully we don't lose anything. 290, so there are so many people on these freaking paths, which makes sense because it's nighttime, but I'm gonna wait for this lady to get here, and then we're gonna have to throw these 3 so fast. Anax has the box. Skip it. Real good. Blade real fast. Thing is so much more flippy. Skip in. Oh, good shots. That's definitely a really easy line, just nice hyzer. These are flying. Real nice on that line though. That Anax is parked, the blade is close to parked. Maybe gonna be a tough putt because it's around the tree. See if we can't ace it with the getaway, you know? Oh, B, get good. Oh, I grip lock that, get safe. Safe. Oh my gosh. All right, nice, easy. Well, not so easy putt, low ceiling, but we can make it. Get up, dang it. Alrighty. Nice and easy getaway par. Whoops. We got the blade just behind the tree. Gosh, I gotta get down here. Whoa, Anthony. Get it up. I'm so glad I'm under par because this is an embarrassing show right now. Lefty, made up for it. I feel like the getaway is pretty similar to just like a 9-speed Anax, which is a really good control driver. It's pretty similar to a Thunderbird, I'd say as well. Just a little more comfortable in my hands, a little sharper on the wing instead of blunter, which I really like. So that's something that I might consider for that similar slot. A lot of things in that category, but I never tried the Fusion Getaway, and I really like the plastic. I'd say that's a really good option for people. Luckily, I'm under par with everything. That could have gotten bad, but I definitely say blade is something I'm not crazy interested in anymore. Maybe different runs are much more stable, maybe different plastics or different stabilities, but wasn't the biggest fan of it today. Good for even more beginners, so pretty interesting out of Gateway, but I would prefer probably the Getaway or Anax, even though I wasn't throwing them phenomenally today. If you want to check out my last Patreon sponsor, Bag It or Bin It, check it out right up here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you'll like this video a lot, and I think that I like you watching this video, so thank you. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, do that, please. Okay, love you. Bye.